Oh, I would.
I absolutely would.
And gentlemen, welcome to three panelists ripping open decade-old grudges and fighting verbally. That's what you just missed. It's a long story.
You didn't miss it by much.
You really didn't miss it by much. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Sci-Fi Classics Track. You have made the right choice. I don't know what anybody else on the planet's doing, but you guys are doing the right thing, because tonight we are going to talk about the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That being Return of the Ooze.
My body is so ready.
It's the secret of the Ooze.
So, let's see. Okay, not even a minute, and I got something wrong. I'm excited.
Well, why waste time?
Why waste time?
And why fuss over a little bit of ooze?
Indeed.
So much fuss. So while we
Tony Ann, the one with vanilla ice.
But don't judge. Don't judge.
You know, I have a special surprise for later when we get to the vanilla ice part.
Oh,
just throwing that out there.
Excellent. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Let's introduce everybody on our Ooze-related panel, starting one internet east of me. Michael.
Hi, Cowabunga. How's everybody doing tonight?
Two internets further east of me. There's Gary Mitchel.
Hi, everybody.
He's coming from inside the ooze.
Yes, I am inside the ooze canister.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3 internets away from me.
Safely.
Our old friend, Darin Bush.
So we're not doing introductions. We're just going, hi, and that's it?
No, he called you old.
Yeah, plug your shit.
No, I ignored the old part.
You can talk there. Go ahead and plug your stuff if you want to push back the discussion of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go ahead, Darin. Yeah.
At least I didn't have to follow Keith, because I have some short stories on the Kindle on Amazon, because I am a science fiction on the Kindle. On the Kindle, on the Amazon, on the Kindle. Either one. I'm on both platforms. And so I do have some
already off the rails.
Yeah, just can we start over, Joe?
Yeah, we're going to start over. Michael Falkner, tell us. All right.
You can read my stuff by not candlelight.
Okay, now diagonally from me, Keith. Who are you? Where can people find you?
I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, I'm Keith DeCandido. I am an author. I am a critic. I am a martial artist, which means I actually know how to use some of the weapons the turtles use. And I've also, among many other things, written a comprehensive overview of all the live-action movies based on superhero comics for Tor.com, including all 5 live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. And also I actually was a fan of the comic back when it first came out in the 80s. That's how old I am. And also was a fan of the cartoon, and will at the drop of the hat just start singing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it'll be stuck in my head for the next week. And it'll be stuck in my head for the next week. So you're welcome.
On every playlist that I ever make, I put ninja rap on it somewhere. You have to.
No, it's obligatory, right?
Obligatory.
Yes. It's in the Constitution.
And our final member of our production tonight, our final Ooze resident, Madison.
Hey, I'm Madison Metricula Roberts. I'm a musician and jack of many jacks. But you can find me at metricula.com. I also do EDM under the I'm DJ Danny Orthanc when I put on my wizard hat. And I'm also in the band Salacious Crumbles with Lee Tyberg, whom you might remember from the Music Showdowns.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of that, we are going to do Battle of the Fictional Bands in person at
Oh my
Dragon
God.
Con this year.
It's going to be a ball.
It's going to be a blast. So
Okay.
technically
So also,
speaking,
Jack of Many Jacks is the name of my new band.
Yes.
yeah.
I thought of 6 different comments, but they all belong on a different website.
What website is that?
It's got a little heart with horns. Anyway, Darin, do you want to finish your plugging?
Sure, Darin. Go ahead.
Oh, did I interrupt, Darin? I'm sorry.
No,
No, Joe interrupted Darin.
No, Keith,
I
you're the
interrupted.
only one who didn't.
That's why I'm 4 internets away from
No,
Darin.
I'm good. What I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to Joe Crowe coming to one of my local Atlanta conventions like Monsterama in October or Conjuration in November, and so that I can be his boss just long enough just to get a little bit of revenge. There we go. No plugs.
Yes.
I mean, he's going to get his revenge on me at Monsterama for sure. So
Make sure you bring your candles.
I'm actually, I may be getting
Your
revenge
Amazon
on
candles?
Gary.
Yes.
I may be getting revenge on Gary sooner than that because in just a couple of weeks, halfway between Atlanta and Birmingham, Alabama, there is a pro wrestling show that I'm the announcer for, and I'm inviting everybody. If you're within driving distance, if you can drive from wherever you are, I don't care, Keith.
Sure.
But I'm announcing wrestling.
12 hours to watch you when
so
I'm
fun.
wrestling. Yes, that sounds like.
I swear upon all that is holy, I am hitting
Oh my
Joe
God.
with a steel chair.
It's
Okay,
going to
I'm
happen.
glad I drive 12 hours. Absolutely. That's
Indeed.
Yeah, and Tony Ann, this is a family show, the Manson family show.
Yeah.
So
Y'all can
anyway,
still hear me on this mic, right? Hello.
Echo, echo.
You're echoey a little bit.
super echoey, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, now we're good. Sorry.
So,
Two things.
anywho,
Now there's only one of you.
Ninja Turtles 2.
Good.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about what was did you guys see it in the theater? Did
Yes.
I was 6 when it came out, so
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I'm old.
I thought we had one rule for the young panelists. One.
That's right.
I'm 36.
Yeah, that's the problem. So no, I saw it in
problem.
the theater.
My back hurts. I wish I had a turtle shell
That's good. That's
For
for
good. Dave.
support.
As I have said before, don't judge.
Nature's
I work
corset.
There you go.
Okay, never mind. Nature's Corset is the name of my next band.
What we ought to do is at the end of every episode, we should just have names of bands that we have come up with throughout the night.
Yes.
throughout the night.
Oh, we could have an amazing. Like I said, we've got to make that festival T-shirt.
Yes, we do.
Maybe
That's
if we
coming.
don't have
Yeah.
somebody, if we don't have
100%.
somebody working on graphics for that, maybe I can try my hand at it. I am a jack of all jacks, as you know.
That's,
Right.
that's true.
As we established. Yeah.
So, anywho, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 came out, I believe, in 1991. Okay.
Yeah, 30 years.
Just 1 year after the first one.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They rushed production.
Yes.
The first one was so kind of. I mean, like I haven't watched it in a while. I reviewed the second one for this, but the first one was kind of a good movie in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
as far as like that scene where was it Leonardo's in the bathtub injured, or Raphael? I forget which one, but
Raphael.
Raphael, and like there's a lot of like pathos, and that's still held up as an adult. But I remember being a kid and just like you really understand that they're kind of like they seem old to you when you're 6, right? Like they're teenagers, but like they seemed like children. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was a really good balance. But that was the first one.
Yeah. And honestly, in 1990, my thought on the first movie was that it was the most faithful adaptation of a comic book I had seen in live action.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is one of the most faithful.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
really good for that.
At the time, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the competition was less fierce in 1990
Sure.
than say now, but even so, it is very, very true to the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
has the same sense of goofiness,
Mhm.
the satire of various superhero tropes that were particularly popular in the mid to late 80s,
Yeah,
and and just the complete the straight-faced ridiculousness of a group of ninjas called the Foot.
Yes.
Riff on the Hand, which were
the Hand.
Sure.
It is really amazing to me how a comic which started basically as sticking its thumb in Frank Miller's eye
and Chris
went on, and Chris Claremont.
Yeah. That was the Teenage Mutant and that part.
Yeah, but it went on to become this mega franchise, and it started out as a
I love that people know the Foot more than the thing the Foot is making fun of.
Yes.
The Hand was just a throwaway line in. I guess they mentioned it in the Daredevil Netflix show.
They didn't just mention it; they were a big part of the Netflix.
Oh yeah, okay.
They were big, but that was the first we'd heard of it. They haven't been a factor in the comics in ages.
Yeah. And the Foot Clan, everybody knows who that is.
Like the Foot, the Hand, trained by Stick versus trained by Splinter.
Right.
And legit, I didn't get that until like a couple of weeks ago. Stick and Splinter, I really didn't compare the two and go, oh.
Yeah.
Actually, my friend. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you.
I was gonna say my friend Leslie Hudson actually has a song about April O'Neil from the comics on her album that's about like redheads from 80s media, and it's called. It's like a. Some kind of something on the under. It's about how she's like plugged in. It was really cool. So I posted a link to that in the Facebook chat. So you should totally, if you like an April O'Neil song, there aren't many, No.
And links to everything.
I was April O'Neil for Halloween when I was 5. let me see if I can find the picture while we're talking.
Oh wow, that would be awesome.
Yeah, my mom made me a yellow jumpsuit with a bunch of pockets on it. Oh god, I'll work on this while we.
So many pockets.
Sorry.
But what's wild is the first movie is very dedicated based on the comic, but by the time the second movie had come out, the cartoon had hit, and the second one, the one we're here to talk about, is very much influenced by the comic or the animated show. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think.
There's a lot of blowback.
The animated series was already a hit when the first movie came out.
Yeah,
that's what I came to it from because I was 5.
Right, and one thing they used from the cartoon were the color coding of the turtles, because in the comic book was black and white.
Yes,
but
the way you told the way you told them apart was by what weapons they were using.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Eastman and Laird say that was the whole reason they gave them different weapons, so they would know who was who?
Yes, you could tell who was who, because they wouldn't think otherwise. In the cartoon, they did the colors, and they kept those colors for the live action
movies. Yeah,
the colors are a great idea.
The full color covers. Like, okay, I should have said earlier. I have first print, first editions of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
Comic book. That's the flagship of my comic collection. Is those babies from way back when? They were all Raphael color. They all had the red bandana on the colored covers. But yes, Keith's right. Inside, it's all black and white. There were moments where you're like, the one with the swords. Okay.
Yeah. and one of my prized possessions is actually the issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in which Cerebus the Aardvark guest starred, and Dave Sim wrote and drew just the Cerebus figure and lettered the Cerebus figure in him interacting with the turtles.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Next time, yell "Wahoo" a little louder. Some of them didn't hear you.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm hoping we'll see, because there's a CG TMNT movie that came out recently, not the Michael Bay stuff, but I'm hopeful that at some point someone will go back and do some of the more science fiction-y storylines from the original comic books, because there's one where they go through a portal to another galaxy, and like the bad guys are triceratops that stand on their hind feet and wear space armor and have explosives.
Darin,
yes,
I'm about to blow your mind.
Uh-oh.
They did this.
No.
There's a Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. I just watched some of it today.
How did I miss that?
They do a Big Trouble in Little China crossover.
But they
series.
That's amazing. I'm texting my mom right now.
It's on Hulu. It's on season 4.
Yes.
And they do an entire season of just them versus the Triceratons.
Yes.
And
thank you, Triceratons, right?
And in that season, they go through a dimensional, and we're not talking about Ninja Turtles 2 at all yet. But in that very season, with the Triceratons, they go through a dimensional portal and they meet the Ninja Turtles from the cartoon.
Ooh.
From the 80s cartoon. And they also meet one of the turtles from the comic book, the original comic book. They meet
That's
them.
a delight.
And the turtle is in black and white, and he pursues them through panels. It's better than
it's Crisis on Infinite Turtles.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. Well, to continue not talking about the movie we're here to talk about,
Yes.
IDW also did a Ghostbusters TMNT crossover that was really good.
Well, of course.
And they've done 2 Batman Ninja Turtle crossovers series. But anyway, back to Ninja Turtles 2. What about that soundtrack?
Well, one thing I
man.
want to mention before the soundtrack is one of the changes they made was they used, because we were just talking about the weapons, they didn't use their weapons hardly at all because apparently there was complaints about there being too much violence.
Yes.
So, really?
So they were just hitting
cold cuts.
Because
yes,
and using cold cuts and other weapons. Because of course, hitting people with not weapons is so much better than hitting people with weapons. You're still freaking hitting them.
Hitting someone in the face with a hot dog is way less suggestive of violence.
No, it's not. The problem is this is something that's happened to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since the very beginning. Is people react to these guys in the weirdest ways, right? Like guys, they're mutated turtles. Who are brought up by a rat in a sewer. This is not reality.
Yeah,
this isn't the way.
The furthest thing. I think maybe it's because their weapons were things that youths could actually get. Like you could. I don't know how easy it was to get electricized.
Psi are kind of hard, but the.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how I know what like a bow staff is, right? And that's what Tim Drake uses a bow staff, right? Like so, like it's some of those things I feel like you get familiar with. I think too now we're a lot more familiar with Japanese culture from the mainstreaming of anime in a way that we were not in the 80s and 90s. I mean, like so some of these things, it's like Ninja Turtles was a lot of people's first entrance into some of these Japanese terminologies and fighting styles, even though they're kind of, broad and washed down. But with Splinter being at different points, like a Japanese man or a Japanese rat or a but it's like clearly or studied it. It's interesting that I think about it now as an adult and how that was sort of like, oh, they're ninjas. You know what ninjas are, but you didn't really know until, anime and a lot of Japanese animation and stuff, especially targeted at children and then adults, like snaked in. So,
yeah, for a lot of comic book readers, their first exposure to that, a lot of that stuff were the Daredevil comics that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was making fun of. Yeah. And then once the cartoon went mainstream, it became more. And then once anime started coming over here in the around the turn of the millennium, there was a lot more awareness of it. And nobody knew what a Psi was really until
except for Ninja Turtles, and or Shuriken or Ninja Stars. What we said.
That's what that bastard Bullseye killed Electro with.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but I went back and reviewed the movie some, but I just want to say that opening fight scene, perfection. Just
although that was a lot of guys for just one robbery.
They look like idiot. They look like idiot teens now, especially as an adult, and it's like it's amazing because it's like they're super powered bros, and there's a charm to that I wasn't expecting coming back and like seeing it because it's been 20, you know what I mean? And it was like it was goofy, but it wasn't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It walked a line, but it wasn't like dumb. It was like they were like doing dumb, stupid teenager stuff, but it wasn't stupid in the way some stuff could be. Is like
It was like they were funny.
Comedic, slapstick. Yeah, they were funny.
Yeah.
They were funny in dealing with a serious situation.
Yeah, or they thought they were funny.
Yes.
Which is extremely teenager. Yeah. Very teenage boy. So, some of the scenes, some of the fight scenes were very... It's like it made up a lot of the movie.
That opening sequence did a really good job of setting the tone for the movie and establishing that this isn't the first film. The first film was a lot more serious, a lot more gritty. And you walk into this one in the first 5-10 minutes, you're like, okay, this is a whole different ride.
And then they steal a pizza. And like, actually, the thing I've remembered my whole life is Donatello when he sees the rocking clown thing, because I am a clown, but then he starts mimicking it. Yeah, and then that's how he that was clever. It was cute. Like it has a tone. It's funny and much lighter, but I was just like struck watching it. I was like, this doesn't feel stupid. It just feels fun, just kind of goofy.
And that's where you also got the fighting with cold cuts.
Yes.
Yeah. But also
Donatello, was he a cold cut time or something?
Yeah. But also Donatello broke the fourth wall in that scene. Because he looked in the camera and he goes, and then he did the bit with the clown. So there's like the good trivia question is how many times did they break the fourth wall in this movie? Because it's at least 2 that I can remember.
Yeah.
I think it's more than 2.
That's an interesting point.
And you also had one of the movie's several missteps, which was removing Casey Jones and replacing him with Ernie Diaz Jr.
Yeah.
Oh man, Casey Jones is so good, man. It's like the idea of Casey Jones, just hockey mask, hockey stick, bash. I'm in. Hot, I had a crush on Casey Jones. And also my favorite turtle from the cartoon when I was a small child. I had the hugest crush on Michelangelo, which is so different because usually like I'm into like Geordie LaForge or Bill the Beaver from Zoobilee Zoo or those kinds of things. But Michelangelo, he's a party dude, Like sometimes you just want a himbo.
Indeed.
By the way, Ernie Reyes Jr. was also in another superhero comic adaptation. He was in Red Sonja with Brigitte Nielsen.
Oh, that's right. See, this is why you're here. You know these things.
I want Leslie Hudson also has a Red Sonja song on that same album that I posted earlier, so you'll enjoy that. That was I like that.
Nice segue.
The lack of cartoon voices threw you off.
We got to do a shout out to Susie Essman, who's a well-known New York comic who did a bit part in this movie. I thought it was great that she got to be the whiny New York upstairs neighbor. Right. We're in for all the aerobics.
I love that. I had forgotten that she was in it, and I've seen like lots of comedy nerds. You've seen her in 200 things, and I'm like, look, Susie Essman.
And I also and that scene also stands out as being a funny little inside bit because the guy that plays the husband is the guy that plays Michelangelo. So he got to play 2 different characters who hit on April ONeil.
Okay, nice. April ONeil, what a role model in all of the media. It's like she knows what's up. She, holds her own. In the movies especially, she has this like not quite a maternal thing, but this like aunt, like a responsible aunt.
She's the older sister.
Yeah, and it's and that really comes across, and even if there's some like like maybe a little like crushy tension, it's not like you really get the sense that it's I don't know, nothing ever gets gross.
Yeah, they didn't go there.
It was nice.
A lesser movie would have addressed it. But look, y'all are 2 different species. Come on.
Yeah.
It's interesting. If you'd told me in the abstract that there was a part that was played in one movie by Judith Hoag and another movie by Paige Turco, I would have expected Turco to be the stronger of the 2. But I actually thought that Hoag did a better job in the first movie than Turco did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Paige Turco's a phenomenal actor. She's had a great career, but she just didn't quite have the same
punch.
April ONeilness.
Yeah. I mean, Judith
she wasn't as bad as Megan Ward, but
no, Judith Hoag was just the embodiment of April ONeil. There was something goofy and kind of she was hip to who she was as a character, and Judith Hoag's April ONeil was much better. But Paige Turco, I still think she did a good job. It's just having to follow Judith Hoag is tough.
If she had originated the role, I think it would have worked better. But
yeah.
Well, let me ask a stupid question. If they had brought back Casey Jones but couldn't get Elias Koteas, would it have been better to recast him or just to say, nah, we don't?
No, just
recast.
Okay.
I would just recast. I'm not attached.
Just recast and leave a
I want to smash with a hockey stick.
No, I think Elias Koteas did the same thing that Judith Hoag did, which is they grokked the characters they were playing. They were hip.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
And because I'm that nerd, I am incredibly happy that we're finally getting decent action figures of both original April and Casey Jones. And the first Casey Jones figure they did was in a 2-pack with Michelangelo, and he was strictly masked because they didn't get the likeness rights because the actor was like,
hard,
the actor was like, people don't want to see me as a toy. And then apparently they showed him all the letters because they were about to release a solo Casey Jones figure with his likeness. So it's like, yes.
Yeah. Actually, talking about likenesses, and just stop me if I'm bringing up too much stuff, but can we talk about how the animatronics and the suits actually kind of look good? Like they still look pretty good.
I was hoping we were going to get to that.
Of course, it looks good.
Yeah, Henson at the top of his game.
Yeah.
In
fact, that the thing that threw me the most when I was rewatching it a few days ago was that the movie was dedicated to the memory of Jim Henson, who had just died the previous year. That got me right in the feels.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember
the
the turtle
dexterity
suits.
Of those suits.
Michael.
I mean,
I remember the turtle suits being the things that really drew me in and blew me away when I first saw this series of films. And I was even more impressed by the fact that they actually took them on the road and did this pseudo concert tour kind of thing.
Right.
I begged my parents to take me to, and thankfully they didn't take me to it because but.
It's funny.
The one of the reasons why the movie worked so well is because you never at any point had the impression that the turtles were puppets. They felt like actual people.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Farscape worked also, which was also Henson, and why Dark Crystal and Labyrinth worked so well is that you had creatures that were practical special effects, so to speak, that were completely convincing as existing in the same space-time continuum as everybody else in the movie.
I mean, the amount of trust that those guys in the suits had to the puppeteers who were remotely controlling their faces and everything. Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's a couple of moments in these films where you go, okay, the lips didn't work perfectly, but 99% of it is dead on. The remote puppeteers.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No.
I was agreeing with you. Go.
Yeah, I mean, just if I remember correctly, the backpacks weighed, what was it, 45, 50 pounds?
Something
with all
that.
I mean, they were lucky they were turtles because they hid all the gear in the shells.
Yeah.
But those things, and so they were doing full flips and martial arts with huge backpacks on their backs and these big masks covering everything. They couldn't see out of them very well. They couldn't hear out of them at all. And I'm just like, every bit of that paragraph is impressive. For 30 years ago, it's all the more.
For 30 years ago, it's astounding.
It was, exactly. It was.
But for the creature shop, it was Tuesday. I mean, this is what they did,
and they look great. They still look great. My mom found it. I'll post it in the chat.
Nice.
Okay. But the fact, like you were saying, Darin, that the fact that these suits, the way they could move in them and fight, and it just adds such an air of believability. I mean, you realize like somewhere in the back that it's latex, but they just move so well that you're able to just let it suspend that disbelief and just go with it. Yeah, of course there are 5 foot tall turtles running around New York.
Why not? I mean, it's New York.
And there's so many opportunities where they could have, ruined those suits with any of the moves or jumping down manholes into the sewers or any of that. And you don't even see that, like as the goose you don't really find in any kind of movie. This was very well done and very well managed for a feature film.
And one thing I would say, if you're a deep TMNT fan, I would say go back and watch the movies and just ignore the fight in the front and watch what's going on in the background, because the other 3 turtles are fighting in the background in almost every scene where all 4 of them are conscious or not strapped to a telephone pole. So it's just in the background, the fights going on in the background are stupendous.
Yeah.
The extras playing the foot, they were whatever, but whatever, doesn't matter. We don't care about them. We want to see the Turtles.
They're the equivalent of the team the Harlem Globetrotters is playing. You know,
they are the Washington
the Jobbers,
yes. Keith wins.
Ham and Eggers.
The thing I paid a lot of attention to this time too was Tatsu and Shredder. You know, as the foot is out there swarming around doing the thing, and the Turtles are fighting them, they're sitting back there going, It's like, you could just step in and end this right now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's why they have minions.
Yeah. It's comic book and it's pulp rules. You have to go through the minions before you get to the boss.
Right.
That's important. The order.
But that's actually one of my few beefs with the movie is the fact that it's hard to tell exactly how long it's been since the first movie, because Shredder shows up and acts, because we saw him get compressed.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they're acting is like, okay, so it's been a few months, but then Shredder just pops up and is like, hey, I just got out of the thing. It's like, wait a minute, was that last night? What's what?
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Yeah, because the Turtles do a couple of days worth of stuff and then the Shredder pops out of the trash. Like it's been a week.
So weird.
Yeah.
It takes them a week to walk to the junkyard, the foot?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in Jersey?
Yeah. Well, it could be. There were 2 other recastings that also, I think, hurt the movie to some extent. Raphael was voiced by Josh Pace in the first movie. And Donatello was voiced by Corey Feldman in the first movie. Neither of them came back for Secret of the Ooze. And especially, not so much with Corey Feldman. If I didn't know Corey Feldman played it from reading it, I wouldn't have known it was him from his voice. He didn't do anything to really stand out in particular. But Josh Pace is one of the best character actors out there. And he really did a good job with Raphael. Raphael had probably the biggest part in the first film. And it just he was replaced by Laurie Faso, who was fine. But it's another case where it's like, it wasn't as good as what initiated it. Pace did such a good job with Raphael and really made him a very distinctive, cranky character. And it just his replacement just didn't quite cut the mustard as well.
I'm sensing a theme here.
But
like the first one is here, and the second one is it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, Secret of the Ooze does have David Warner pretending to dance.
Yes,
and it has Bebop and Rocksteady.
Although,
Well, it has Toka and Razor, which was one of the other problems I have with the movie, is that it's like, why? Okay, I understand it, rights issues, whatever, or wanting to do something new. But I like the fact that Frank Welker.
It was totally rights issues. Yeah.
It was Eastman and Larry said
wanted to, but because Bebop and Rocksteady were created for the cartoon, they weren't part of the license for the movie, and it was all a big thing.
Yeah. But I like that Frank Welker voiced them both, because Frank Welker voices everybody.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's voiced me for half my life.
So Keith, for those of us who've read the comic books, should we ruin David Warner's character for the people that haven't read the comic books?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It was.
Oh, really? I thought you guys were going to go. No, I thought you guys were going to say no.
Do it. Ruin it.
The reason. Okay, so the David Warner character, the professor, the absent-minded professor with the floaters.
Oh my god.
And the checkered shirt that just doesn't work at all. It's so stereotypical and nerd. He isn't stereotypical nerd accidentally. He's not a human being. He's faking being a human being. If you read the comic books, right? I'm not going to go any more detail than that because we're going to run out of time here. But he's not a human being. He's an alien. And so the Ooze isn't just some weird, American corporation being evil and accidentally spilling toxic waste in the sewers. There's a bigger agenda there. So I think it was really interesting that they kind of went with the TGRI backstory, but they didn't give you enough to make it really cool. They could have made it a lot cooler.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were thinking maybe they'd do it in a future movie, or Keith, was there some kind of reason why they couldn't?
I have no idea. Given that it was 1991 Hollywood, they may have decided that just corporate greed was enough.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to start dragging aliens into it. And to some extent, I can understand that. You've already got Ninja Turtles, you're already doing, in essence, a fantasy story. To bring science fiction elements into it in only your second film they might have felt that was a bridge too far, especially for something that was as much being marketed to kids as anything. So that's speculation on my part. I have no idea.
Although it would shed some light on that the TGRI canister, because it's full when the foot takes it. It's full at the very end when David Warner's character runs off with it. There's this little tiny vial, but they've also used some, and so it's like
well, that's just bad prop mastering.
Well, yeah, but then he scampers off with a full vial, and they're like, oh, that was the last that Shredder had, But there's this whole canister still gone,
Yeah, so they make it really obvious during the dance fight, the dance off, whatever. That the rap battle.
So good.
They make it really obvious that the professor grabs the canister and sneaks off and looks over his shoulder, and he walks out and what? That was it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the soundtrack. I can't say enough about the partners in crime with a K from the first movie, but I was looking through my audio cassettes just before the show started, and look, a lot of people collect soundtracks for, Darin and I were talking about this, about all the Superman movies have movie scores. All of the Star Wars movies, you have the cassettes or the CDs or whatever of all those things. The only movie series that I have all the soundtracks for are the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, wow.
Well, because anyone can collect good soundtracks.
See?
Yeah.
I support the unsupportable. And
it doesn't get much more unsupportable than Vanilla Ice.
It does not. And the cassette, this soundtrack says it's back by bodacious demand. Really?
So bodacious.
So bodacious. How bodacious was that demand? And the soundtrack includes Dan Hartman from the I Can Dream About You guy from Footloose is on this. And also a band that I'm not familiar with called Spunkadelic.
Okay.
I have no...
It sounds so dirty. It sounds
I have
oozy.
not heard of it.
That is such a late 80s, early 90s name.
Yes.
Yeah. Now it's just phrasing.
Yeah.
And let's see, Ya Kid K from Technotronic, of course. She's got to be represented here. And, of course, Vanilla Ice doing the ninja rap, playing himself in the movie.
Yeah. We have to
playing himself. It's amazing.
When I reviewed this for my great superhero movie rewatch, when I got to the part of the plot description where they break into the club, where Vanilla Ice is playing, I put the line in the description in parentheses. Don't worry if you don't know who Vanilla Ice is. By the time this movie aired, the fourth-rate rapper was already well into his 15th minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. See that ting? It's the
Oh my gosh,
extra ting.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of ninja rap, Madison, I believe you have a treat for us.
I do. I have a musical styling for you, and I have no idea if this will work, but if you know the words, sing along. Let me switch to the weirder view. I hope this works. Okay, I hope this is working. Okay, this should be on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're a bit echoey, but that might be in your favor.
Yes.
That's probably fine. Okay, hang on. I can do this.
Hey, listener mate, how you doing?
So, like, it's one of those things that you like get familiar with. I think the two now will
Maybe we can
beginning of anime in a way that
Yes, sort of.
keep talking and I'll hear the sound.
Well, we can definitely. I'm not sure we can talk over it.
Hang on, I have to switch headphones. This is a lot. Talk amongst yourselves for like 2 minutes. I promise this will work.
So,
All right,
so
hang
here
on.
at the Classics Track,
Yeah. I'll bring her back on in a minute.
here at the Classics Track, we love experimental theater. We're down to that. We're totally
100%.
Yes.
We've been nothing but experimental theater since we started.
I was going to say, that's what all these quarantine panels aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, this has actually been in a performance the entire time. I'm actually Joe in a suit, and Joe is me in a suit, and we've just been impersonating each other.
Yes, we are all creatures of the Henson Creature Shop. We're all
yes.
Some of us more realistic than others.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's weird. Okay, hang on.
I keep asking Brian to install my hair, and he keeps forgetting.
Seriously.
Oh, we used your hair for Joe's hair.
Really?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That explains a lot.
It does explain a lot.
Were we going to talk about the movie?
Yes.
If we must.
If we must.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I do like their new headquarters, which is based on an actual old subway station that was built under New York when in the late 19th century. They built sort of a prototype for this really fancy subway system with like chandeliers and pretty walls.
Mm-hmm.
The people who built it kind of ran out of money and it didn't really go anywhere, but it's still down there.
Yep.
And how many supervillain and superhero headquarters are in the sewers of New York City?
Yeah, a person of interest used it. There was a version in the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts used it. Yeah. It's been used constantly, and it's a perfect, underground layer that's actually pretty. So
my engineering brain was like, okay, you just turn the power on. Is anyone going to notice the new drain?
Yeah.
In New York?
Okay,
Probably
I think
not,
I've achieved it.
There's a lot of electricity floating around.
Right.
Yeah.
Con Ed don't care.
And again, from the comic books and some other places,
see the drains, send a bill, and then forget about it. Yeah,
exactly.
They'll send like 15 turn-off notices. Nothing will change.
Yeah. Well, one thing I always liked from the very beginning is that the four turtles weren't identical. They all had their specialities. Donatello was the IT guy. And so this movie gave him two really terrible ways to be the IT guy. One was he said some complete crap about how computers don't work. Everything he said, I'm an IT support guy. Everything he said about the computers made no sense at all. Just none. But the other thing he did was he went, power switch. Dunk. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's his IT contribution to this movie.
Donatello's IT contribution in TGRA headquarters was the point where my wife said, really? Because, David Warner takes of the two remaining canisters, one, and puts it up there. There's an empty slot, puts it up next to the empty slot, flushes it. She's like, you had two left. There's two slots. You could have, right? And then he turns around to his computer and he writes, disposed, finger, tick, 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 tick. And she's like, oh my God, really?
Yeah, that was just that was some of the worst computer stuff. Plus of course, watching it now, it's like, oh look, CRT monitors with crappy music.
Oh yeah, look.
Oh man, CRTs
are enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of IT, I think I've made a recovery.
Yay! Okay. Hit us.
We're just gonna roll. Okay. I had the idea to do a backing track for this like right before we got started, so we're on experimental time, but I think we can do it. Cassette sounds.
Nice.
Yo, it's the Green Machine gonna rock this town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Slamming and jamming to the new swing sound. Yeah, everybody, let's move. Vanilla is here with the new Jack Crew, gonna rock and roll this place with the power of the Ninja Turtle bass. Iceman, I'm not playing. Devastate the show while the turtles are saying ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, rap. Go, 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 go ninja, go ninja, 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 go, 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 go. Lyrics, fill in the gap. Drop that bass, get the ninja rap, feel it. You know what I mean? Give it up for those heroes in green, just flowing smooth with the flower, giving it up hour after hour. 'Cause in this life there's only one winner. Better aim straight so you can hit center. In it. A team of 4 Ninja Turtles, it's you got a door. Ninja rap. Ninja rap. Go. Go ninja, go ninja, 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 go. Better run and hide, 'cause one day you might not slide, so choose your weapon, don't slip, and control with the flex of the mic grip. Rockin' the crowd, rock to be riding my image, drop that like you a lot. Love that's hitting like a ninja turtle with the bass kicks in. Check your level, power of the ninja is strong. Fight all the crooks till they're out cold. No ninja rap, ninja rap. Go ninja, go ninja, go. 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 Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. We can't follow that at all. That was
We're done. Good night.
If anyone wants that backing track, I'll post the Dropbox link. You can have that for free.
and no matter what else one can say about that, it's still better than Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I didn't really look at the third verse, but I'm glad.
Okay.
So
It's
fun.
like-
Yeah, I'll post the backing track. You can use it for whatever. So
No,
wait, I
that
can
was
take off
like-
the double headphones now. Hang on.
Vanilla Ice
Right,
was
there we
like,
go.
I'm just going to make a 20-minute version. What was that?
Yeah.
Why is it
Killer.
so long?
Oh my god, yeah, the studio version is so long.
One of the themes of this movie is scenes that go on too long. So having a song that goes on too long fits.
Yes.
You know? I mean, while I agree that the opening scene is delightful and sets the tone, it also is about 20% too long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true of and the dance scene's another one. It's like that fight should have been over at least 5 minutes sooner.
Yeah, but we had to see the turtles dance and fight.
We really didn't.
Okay, but here's an interesting thing: is it's the sequel. We know that it came out really soon after the first movie, but they didn't explain anything in the second movie.
No,
like they just assumed we'd all seen the first movie.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because they wasted a lot of time doing. So did they get away with it?
I appreciated them assuming a lot about the audience of this movie instead of spending the first 20 minutes reiterating the origin.
Yeah,
like they did in all superhero movies ever.
Well, as people have said, how many times do we have to watch Bruce Wayne's parents get shot?
Or Uncle Ben die?
I kind of got into it after a while. I'm like, go down, Thomas.
Kill him.
When does Uncle Ben get shot?
Yeah.
Sorry,
you're waiting for the story beats, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But and also, we got enough of it explained, especially once they discovered the Ooze, so that that was the twist on their origin, and so we got it explained. If anybody hadn't seen the first one, and how complicated is it anyway? There were turtles; they got mutated. There we go.
They learned to be ninjas.
My belief, my disbelief suspended. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, and I really can't see the producers sitting around going, "But what if someone hasn't seen the first one?"
Exactly.
The first one was a pretty big hit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and what person walks up to the theater and goes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze? I didn't watch the first one. Let's start here.
Yeah, it's not Godfather 2. You're not gonna. In some ways, though, I would say that it's better.
Well, okay.
And the secret of the Ooze was that it also helps your armor grow larger, like Super Shredder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I will say I do. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I will say I do like that there's such a constant theme of family in all the movies.
Mm.
Like I think that's really nice, especially for the fact that they are, whether the movie is aimed at kids or adults, it's still this sort of both like biological family but also found family. Like I feel like that's something that I think a lot of people identify with, as far as themes. Like, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff, but as far as like broad themes, it's like, oh, you might have your brothers, but there's all these other people that make up the team, essentially.
And that's a really good point, and I really never thought about that, because when for latchkey kids like us, and for people who, maybe your home life isn't terrific, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was unironically a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They razzed on each other, but so did actual brothers and siblings.
Right.
Yeah.
And but there was no conflict there was no artificial conflict of them storming off and breaking up, like on 90210 or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
There's some very real moments.
Raphael would have his moments, his snits, but that was about it.
Sure.
Yeah. There's some very real moments in this movie that are really well done, that really don't have anything to do with the story, where Raphael goes, Master Splinter, and Leonardo just turns around and punches him, and Raphael punches him back. Yeah, that was very real.
Yeah.
I have a
it feels
brother.
very
That was authentic.
sibling-like.
Yeah, they do a very good job of coming across that way.
And I think that's why a lot of these movies that are like this resonate with us, in geekdom, because, as we see from this track especially, but like in the con circuit and everything else, we deal a lot with found family. We all treat each other as a closer family than some blood relatives sometimes. And to see this on screen, to see it represented so well in so many different media, it helps to resonate within this community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, April treats them. I mean, she puts up with a lot of crap from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's willing to do it because she cares about them. She genuinely, she genuinely loves them and wants them to, be safe and be happy and have a place to live, at least until they can find a new sewer. And
they treat each other like people. I mean, there's a lot of humanity to it. They're not. Yeah. They might have conflict, like I said, but like there's not like this like meanness that I feel like is really common. Not so much right now after the Steven Universe revolutions and the Adventure Time revolutions, but like there was this period for a long time where a lot of children's media, especially, was characters being mean, genuinely mean to each other, and cynical. And this is so earnest that it's hard to get kind of into it.
Yeah. You also see it turned on its ear with the Foot, because that's what Shredder's offering is also offering a found family, but it's a found family of thugs and criminals.
Yeah. Right. And he literally says it at one point, "I am your father."
Right.
It was like, that was the creepiest thing that TMNT's ever did, and was that one line of dialogue is no. A
family of exploitation, not of support.
Yeah.
Someone could write a whole thesis
and it's so
on that.
clear.
Yeah.
And I think it was really clear to any age group.
Of course he's evil,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also, but that thing, like, I'm your father, this is your family, but you're gonna die for us. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
Yeah, it's like when your work says we treat each other like family.
Oh, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah. So, guys, final thoughts.
Or unlike the Classics Track, where we are family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not entirely.
We're that weird uncle.
Yeah.
Not the creepy weird uncle, the funny weird uncle.
Right, the nice one. Yeah, the one that has like
the cool one that has all the gives you the sugar covered gum that your mother won't let you.
The one that has all the
here's a bag of candy and a kazoo. Go have fun. Tell your mother I said hi.
Yeah. Oh, bye.
I want to go to Uncle Joe's house and play with the Ninja Turtle cassettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what a cassette is.
Yeah. What is that? So let's go around, everybody. Tell us where on the interwebs you can be found, and final thoughts about the Ninja Turtles. Michael.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite. We don't say guilty pleasures on this track, but it is one of my favorite films from my childhood, really, to come back to. This one and the first one, like I said that before, the effects really hold up and the themes really hold up even now. If you want to find me on the interwebs, you can find my writing at creativecriticality.net. That's where my website is hidden on the internet. Among other things, I do a weekly blog on Doctor Who. I've been watching that episode by episode, week by week since 2014, and I'm up through the end of Torchwood right now into the 11th Doctor's era. So once again, you can find that at creativecriticality.net.
You're zipping right along there.
Yeah. And Gary Mitchell.
You can find me here on the Twitter as Gary _Mitchell with ONeil. You can find me here every week with that guy over there. And you can find me at DragonCon, the American Sci-Fi Classics Track, with him. And coming up in October, you'll find me with that guy down there at Monsterama. So I can be located if you're looking for me.
Darin Bush.
Excellent. Okay, so final thought on the movie. There's a throwaway line.
Final thought is, Kevin. Yeah, okay. We didn't mention Kevin Nash playing Super Shredder. My wrestling fans. There you go.
Kevin Nash. He's awesome. And the voice was deeper. Anyway, so all right. Final thought is there's a throwaway line where Shredder says, "I'll give this back to you in little dribs and drobs and future mutations." I don't know which one inspired which, but there's a role-playing game for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You talk this right, and what you can do. The reason why this game is so awesome is because it has an engine built into it where you can create a mutant of anything. You just dip it in the ooze and go crazy.
I want to be a bird.
So much fun.
I want to be a bird.
It is so much fun to play that game with all the mutants and everything.
What? I want a mutant guppy.
I had that very source book.
Yeah,
and I feel like at some point we got to play that on Classic Track. So
I would love to. I mean, you talk about turtles in space. I just love this game. It's just awesome. I haven't played in a while.
Okay, we're doing it.
Yeah, when you GM this for us, Darin? Come on.
Yeah, when
me GM? Oh, okay, all right. You guys know I don't like to be in charge of things. There we go. That's the laugh I was aiming for.
That was a joke.
That's the laugh. Even Keith knew.
You kept a straight face when you said that, which was that's what I was laughing at.
That's nice. I like it.
It's the Botox. The Botox is working.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in finding out any of that more weirdness that comes from me, I will be live at DragonCon hanging out with these guys and other people. Monsterama is in Atlanta in October. Conjuration, which is a magical fantasy convention, in November. That's one of the big ones for me. And on the Amazon Candle at Darin M. Bush, you can find some of my science fiction and fantasy short stories. And there are mutants in a couple of those stories, I think.
Didn't you win an award for one of those?
I did win an award for one of those. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
And Keith.
First of all, my wife just very proudly proclaimed that she has played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game. So
nice.
So there's that.
We did weasels.
Yay!
Weasels. Okay.
Oh,
that's amazing. Weasels.
That'd be awesome.
I wish furrets were real.
Rin's playing. We're gonna do this.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So if we play the game, she's got to be part of it. My last thought, I want to mention something. I took another shot at Vanilla Ice when I reviewed this for Tor.com, which I'm very proud of. One of the things I talk about is particularly in The Secret of the Ooze, the turtles spend too much time goofing off when they should be in the middle of a fight. The worst offender is the club scene in Ooze with Vanilla Ice, a performer about whom I have not dedicated a single brain cell since about 1993 or so. Which was true up until you guys decided to do this panel, and then I had to dedicate more brain cells to them, and I resent that very much. Anyway, you can find me online if you search for Keith R.A. DeCandido. I am literally the only one you will find. If you go to DeCandido.net, that will give you all the methods of cyber-stalking me, including my Facebook page, my Instagram account, my Twitter feed, my articles for Troy.com, my Wikipedia page, my YouTube channel, my Patreon, which you should definitely support because I need money. And you get good things for it. It's not just that I need money. I provide stuff. And yeah, Ren just said so. Also, I will be at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City in a couple weeks. I will be at DragonCon doing lots of things for this track. In fact, I gave up doing a panel on the Star Trek track that I really wanted to do so I could do a panel on this track.
Ooh.
It's the novelization reading panel. We've been planning that one for like a year now.
We have,
so I couldn't miss it. So I'm missing a Star Trek panel I really want to do. So you guys need to be nice to me.
You can come in and read your thing and then leave.
Nicer.
Oh, nicer.
Come in and read your part
your name right once in a while.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you can find my books online at all the book dealers that are out there. Again, just look for my name, you'll find it. I've got a thriller out called Animal, which is about a serial killer who targets people who harm animals. I've got a novella out called All the Way House, which is part of the Systema Paradoxa series about cryptids, where I give the secret origin of the Jersey Devil. And I've got a story coming out in an anthology called Devilish and Divine. I'm working on a comic book that I can't tell you what it is, but it's really cool, and I hope I can talk about it by DragonCon. And some other stuff too that I can't remember because I don't actually sleep. So,
yeah. And we're waiting patiently for your TMNT fan fiction.
That's right.
Don't hold your breath.
And
you would look good in blue. So.
Again, I am Madison Metricula. Whereas you don't sleep, I sleep a lot because I actually have a narcolepsy diagnosis. So if anyone has sleep disorders, talk to me. But you can find me at Metricula, Metricula, on Twitch, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. And I do solo music myself. I do like chill live streams on Twitch where you can request songs. I also do a weekly show Wednesdays at 6 p.m. called Tricks 666. It's 6 songs at 6 p.m. From 6 different categories. So it's but we're in season 3 of that. I also do started doing a weekly vlog on YouTube, and you can also find my music on Spotify, as well as the band that I'm in, the Salacious Crumbles with Lee Tyberg, whom many of you know, also on Spotify and salaciouscrumbles.com. All of my music for Metricula, my solo stuff, Salacious Crumbles, and my EDM as DJ Danny Orthank is all available for free, and you can find that at metricula.com. My Danny Orthank stuff, usually what I do is I take like quotes from different like movies, or like I have a Castiel song about his speech where he's like, I follow the bees, and I make lo-fi chill hop. I have one that's free that's called Is This a Kissing Book? With Princess Bride, so stuff like that. And I take requests for that. So if you have any favorite scenes from things and want to hear it as like lo-fi chill hop, you can find me there. But yeah, also just check me out at Metricula. I'm easy to find, and I would love to hang out. So
if you ever do a sequel to Is This a Kissing Book, you should call it You're Sick, I'll Humor You.
I really I'm actually, this is a little behind the scenes thing, just really quick. I'm working on one called I'm Not Left-Handed Either. And the drum sounds, the snare sounds, or the sword clashes. So nice. That's going to be, keep an eye out. So
guys,
DJ Danny Orthank.
Guys, thank you again. Thank all of you. We are so excited that we got to get together and talk about this awesome movie. We will see you, some of you, in a few weeks in live action. We will see any of you who can come to get on the internet next week, and we'll do more fun stuff. What is our topic next week, Mr. Gary Mitchell?
Next week, we will be talking an exceptional thief, sheriff, wizard, and actor celebrating the great and dearly missed Alan Rickman.
Yeah. So join us next week for that, and join us next week when Gary Mitchell will say...
Do you think he was wearing anything under those robes? Because I know I wouldn't.
Oh, thank you.
At some point, I'm going to have to edit that, and I'm not
edit. Edit.
We can make that into a lo-fi song.
There we go.
We're doing it. Love you guys. We'll see.